I'm going to speak about sub-250g drones. That's drones like the Mini 3 Pro or the Mini 2. Any drones that are sub-250, that's what and the changes that the CAA are introducing on Wednesday, I'll be speaking about those drones. In the second part, I'll be talking about drones that are above 250 grams, but under 900 grams. And that would be your Mavic 3, your Air 3S, your Avatas, and your FPV drones. Okay, I'm going to share some screens with you. First of all, I want to talk about the sub 250g drones. That's the drones such as the Mavic 3 Pro. Okay. How will you be affected? And I've got a table to show you as well, which I've spent a lot of time today trying to make it as clear and easy to follow as possible, because some of the other channels I've found that are very detailed and very good at giving you all of the details make it it sounds complicated, and even I who I know what I'm talking about, I have found it hard to follow some of these channels. I think you know who I'm talking about. One guy who is very good at giving you the fine details of everything, but sometimes it confuses matters by giving you too much information. So I've tabled it. I've spent all day on this, working on this, and I've tabled it to try and make it easier. So I'm going to share a screen with you now. Right, so we're talking now about the sub 250g, right? It's either going to be a legacy drone, right? It's got no class mark. It's a legacy drone with no class mark, right? Or it's going to be a new drone which does have a UK class mark. It's going to be one of these two, right? And I've given an example of the Mini 3 Pro and compared with the DJI Neo 2. But I'm not talking specifically about these two drones. I'm just talking about legacy drones that don't have a class marking and new drones that have a UK class marking. Okay. So who needs a flyer ID? If you have a legacy drone with no class marking and you're flying it and it's above 100 grams, which all our drones are, yes, you need a flyer ID. Same if you are, if you've got a new drone, it's above 100 grams, you need a flyer ID. Who needs an operator ID? You need an operator ID for any drone over 100 grams with a camera. That's your Mini 2, Mini 3, Mini 4, 5, etc. And that's the same with the new drones that come out with a new UK marking. Where the class marks apply, right? A legacy drone doesn't have or use a class mark. But the new one, a new drone, must have a UK class mark to be sold in the UK. So any drone that you buy after January the 1st, and maybe some that you bought just recently, will have a UK class mark. What about remote ID? This is a big one here, right? Who requires to have remote ID? If you have a legacy drone, sub 250, such as my Mini 3 Pro, because I bought it 2 or 3 years ago, or my Mini 2, which I bought 4 or 5 years ago. Did you see it? This is Lassie. Oh, the bold Lassie. Then, let me go back full screen. Then you do not have to have remote ID up until 2020, the end of 2026. But at the moment, sorry, the end of 2027. But at the moment, you do not require remote ID. However, if you have a new drone that has a UK marking, and it will be UK1 if it's a Mini 3 type drone, Mini 4, Mini 5, you will require ID, remote ID. If it's a UK 0, that means it's below 100 grams or it doesn't have a camera, you won't. But if you have a drone such as the Mini 3, any drone sub 250 that has a UK marking, which will be a UK 1, you must have remote ID. Okay. The open category, subcategory allocation. I know that sounds complicated, but it's the legacy means it's based on weight only. But with the new drones, it's based on the UK class and weight. So there's two contributing factors to where you can fly with new drones. A typical sub-250g operation, a typical operation for a drone, such as the ones described, is effectively A1 style flying, right? Don't intentionally fly over uninvolved people and avoid crowds, right? Just as you have been doing for the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years, okay? If it's a UK1 marking, right, it's A1, which is the same, flying allowed. Don't intentionally fly over uninvolved people and avoid crowds, but you have to have remote ID, and there are extra design and safety requirements which are not applicable to you, but are applicable to the manufacturer of the, can I bring that up? The manufacturer of the drone that they must have built in to allow it to have the UK1 marking, right? This is starting to sound complicated, but I will break it. I'll give you at the end of this explanation and at the end of the table, I'll give you a summary to make it easy to follow, okay? Right. Ability to retrofit a class marking. So you're thinking, right, I have a Mini 3 Pro that I bought 3 years ago. It doesn't have a marking of any kind whatsoever. Can I retrofit a UK1 marking onto that? That's might be a question that you have. And the answer to that is no automatic upgrades, right? It will not automatically suddenly be in the UK1 class or marking classification. If it's a new drone, it's already class marked at the sale, okay? So you can't retrofit it. You don't get an automatic upgrade. It's what is known as a legacy drone, okay? What about your insurance in Article 16? Can you fly it under Article 16? Yes, that's allowed if you're a member of a particular group and you're compliant with the member requirements. And that is the same with a new drone that is UK marked. So whether your drone is marked this or not, your sub-250g is marked or not, you are allowed to fly it under Article 16. Your maximum height remains the same, 400 feet or 120 metres. Your visual line of sight requirement remains the same. You have to have it. So that was the tabled form, and you can take a screenshot of that and have a look at it later on. Or if you really want a copy of everything I'm going to speak about tonight, is going to be, I'm going to share the screen of all of the work that I've done today. Just email me and ask for a copy of it, and I'll send you that through. It took me a lot of hours to compile this, and it would probably take you a good number of hours as well. But to save you the time and trouble of doing that, and I find, following the multiple paths that go everywhere, just email me and I'll send you a copy of everything that I've prepared for tonight. Okay, so in summary, what that means in plain English, right? And I'm going to bring up the screenshot to show you here. In summary, right? Remote ID, if you're worried about that, it only applies to UK class marked drones, right? Not to legacy drones. This is sub-250 we're talking about just now, right? No RID required if you're a legacy drone. RID required if it's a new drone that's got a UK marking on it. Your old Mini 3 Pro doesn't suddenly become restricted in 2026. It just becomes a legacy drone under weight-based rules, and you must have a flyer ID and an operator ID because it's over 100 grams with a camera. If it's a new drone that you get after 2026, you must have a UK class mark, and it will need remote ID if it's UK 1 or above. If it's UK 0 or above, it just means it doesn't have a camera and it's under 100 grams, which is none of our drones. So New drone, you will need a remote ID if it's UK1 marked. Old drone, you do not need remote ID. So that's it for 250, sub 250 gram drones. The difference in the new rules between a legacy drone, one that you've had for a while that is under 250 grams, and a new drone, which means it's a drone that's sub 250 that you buy and comes with a UK1 marking on it.